Today I'm gonna give my friend some tips on how to work out better, and this is what I like to call the HDB drill. I know what you're thinking, HDB sounds very familiar. Yes, because HDB stands for Half Hater Drills for Becoming Fitter. It is not Housing Development Board, but you know the funny thing is, just nice, all these drills also actually are perfect for people who live in HDBs, because all the tips that I'm about to give, these drills that I'm about to give, right, they are actually able to be done anywhere with very, very little equipment or money. So let's get started. The first exercise that we see my friend do is this machine that has a pushing motion and a pulling motion as well. This is quite an interesting machine because it is so hard. Usually this kind of machine is either you pull only or you push only, then you let a bit of gravity do the work, but it seems like there's a resistance going up and down. So in this case, let's break it down into, let's just say that the objective of this machine is to both do pushing and pulling as well. So I'll break it down into pushing and pulling. So let's talk about pushing first. So the first exercise that is good for pushing actually is just your simple push-up. The push-up also, I think, is sometimes better than machine because it makes you used to your own body weight and you're actually getting used to how your own body weight feels. And this is helpful for like getting up, like if you're lying down and get up, things like that, very useful. So your form actually on this pushing is extremely wrong because I think what you're supposed to do is to maintain your body position upright and then you push while maintaining your body position. You're not supposed to use your spine and your back and your shoulder and your bone to go and leverage and kind of lever the thing upwards with your body. You're supposed to use your muscle to push and maintain like that. So you build your shoulder and also like your shoulder and your chest area a bit. So your basic push-up will be very helpful for that. So I can suggest you do that. If you can't do a full push-up yet, what you can do is a knee push-up. A knee push-up is just instead of using your leg, putting your leg on the floor, you put your knee so the distance is shorter, it's a bit easier to push it up. If your knee sometimes will boji pain, right, what you can do to make it an easier kind of push-up also is that you do an elevated push-up. So you can use a table, you can use a short bar, you can even use a pole or a wall to make it easier. Then as you get stronger, as it becomes easier for you to push against the wall, for example, then you go lower and lower, and eventually you'll find that you're comfortable doing a certain number of push-ups on the floor without, dying halfway through a rep. The knee push-up also is good also because I think it helps you get used to having your knees on the ground. So it's actually very useful if you are somebody who often need to do kneeling apologies. So because sometimes you kneel, you want to apologize to somebody, right? You want to make sure that you can kneel for a long time. And if you don't kneel for a long time, the apology don't seem very sincere, So this will help actually condition your knee to be used to be on the ground. And then you can kneel and apologize for longer, then more sincere. Maybe people will forgive you. What a push-up doesn't quite do that the machine that you are using does, right, is this overhead motion to work out your arm like that. And for that, if you really want to do that, what you can do, I think, is called a downward dog. Downward dog, not downward dog slave. This is a yoga pose. And as you can see, it's good to transit from a plank position, which is like a push-up, but you don't pull. So you just hold this plank position, then you slowly move your leg up, and then you transit to this triangle thing. It's called a downward dog. The point of which is you want to press your head down so you can really open up your chest even more on the ground, and this will stretch out your knees, your waist, and your shoulders as well. It's a very good exercise for stretching also. And then you can hold this downward dog position, and then you also kind of work out and have increased endurance in your shoulder area. If you want to do even more like upward shoulder support like that, right, you can also try a handstand. But this one a bit difficult. So this one, I think you do the downward dog better, and you're used to that. Then when you get stronger, that doesn't do anything to you, then you can try doing the handstand. So that's about it for the pushing section. Now let's talk about the pulling part. Pulling is also a very important function that our arms need to do, right? So for pulling, I recommend you start off with just what is called a bar hang. So you just find like a bar, then you just hang and you try to hang for like 20, 30 seconds to a minute. And this is very good because if you just hang, right, you're actually building your grip also, and also your shoulder ability to endure hanging like that. And then you can also, if you relax your spine, you can actually stretch out your spine. Like you breathe out, right? Close your eyes, breathe out while you're hanging, and you can stretch out your spine, and that's very good for your spine and your pelvis as well. So I recommend that. Once you get used to that, you can transit to pulling up. Now, pulling up is not an easy thing to do. So to start off with, you can try doing inverted pull-ups, and this one you just need a low bar. I think any standard issue fitness corner, whether adult or senior citizen, should have something like this. Then you just want to pull it up, keep your body straight and pull it up to your chest or your chin area if you can. And when you get stronger to that, you can go back to the bar and you can try to do a pull-up. Cannot do a full pull-up also okay. You can try to first engage your shoulder. So you lift your chest up, but you're really engaging and kicking your shoulder, contracting these shoulder muscles, and this will help build this strength here that you need to do the rest of the motion. When you're able to do that, you can transit to like a halfway pull-up. Just do halfway then come down, halfway then come down, but maintain proper form. And when you're comfortable with that, then maybe you can go for a full-on pull-up, and then this will really build your pulling strength. Hanging is also very good for resetting your shoulders, especially when you are somebody who, for example, have very long shift, like 12-hour shift, and you're sitting down all the time and you cannot get up because you have 4 phones with shows that you need to continuously watch. Because no choice, right? You already got 4 SIM card, all paid for. You might as well watch the show, otherwise you're wasting it, right? So no choice, have to sit down. Oftentimes you sit like that because you're watching show, right? Shoulders get very stiff, need to reset it, right? It's also very good for if you're somebody with very big trolley bags that you need to pull around constantly. So this pulling motion is actually not very natural, I find, for me at least. So this kind of pulling strength helps a lot. Then you can pull all day, man. You can just pull all day. You can go for very long distances. And then also this shoulder stuff that is trained when you do pull-ups or shoulder, or even bar hangs, right? It's very good to build these muscles, because if you're somebody with big trolley backpacks, you can actually start wearing it as backpack even more. Then maybe your shoulders might get strong enough one day that you don't even need to have a trolley anymore. You can just use a normal backpack and then don't need to go to work every day like you're traveling to a foreign country for a week like that. That's a pretty good upgrade also that can come with fitness. So yeah, it's very good exercise, right? Now the next bit of machine or equipment that we see my friend do, right, is this. I don't know what it's called. It's like a squatting thing, but you also need to pull it down. These machines are strange, like, because it's not just gravity, it's like there's also resistance pulling it down. So I don't know, either it's jammed or it's designed that way so that it does both pulling and pushing. I don't know. But I think this one, I think ideally are trying to work out is the idea of this squatting motion going up and down. And for that, I think it's just better to just do a simple squat. So the squat, right, what you need to actually look out for, that I spot a little bit in your form in this video, my friend, is that the form needs to be correct. You need to be a very stable. I'm sure you learned before when you learn Wing Chun, right? Like you learn Ma Bu. This is your Ma Bu lah. So you can use your arms to steady yourself, but you watch the form lah, and you want to be steady and stable. Sometimes I see you work out, right? Your face scrunch until like, oh, I'm gonna die. Sometimes actually is your load too big already. So like you don't want to overdo it. The point is to do multiple repetitions to the point of failure. So don't overdo it. Your body weight oftentimes is enough already. So just go again. Very good for if your knee boti pain. This one will build strength in your knee, especially to support your body weight when it comes to various movements like getting up from a chair and things like that, right? Another thing that you kind of do is called a sit-up, and you are using the machine which has this arch back. I actually don't quite like that. I was gonna film one at the arch back thing that I have at a fitness corner adult one near my place also, but then the weather turned hater, then started to rain, so I had to do it at the void deck lah. So you can just apply this, but you just do it at wherever you want to do. Sit-up, right? Actually, your sit-up is wrong because you are using your arms to swing yourself up. That is wrong. You don't do that, because the point of a sit-up is actually to build your core, which is your stomach muscle, and to really build strength in your abs, right? So you want to don't use your hand, because your hand makes it very easy. If you just do it like that, you're like, when I did it, I didn't even feel my core engage. So you want to do a proper sit-up, and how you do that is that you don't move your hands. So 2 ways to do it. Either you keep your arms crossed at your chest, so like that really you cannot use, or you keep your arms beside your ears and you don't move it. It must be at your ears. So that's two ways for you to force yourself not to use your arms, right? And also, you don't need to sit up all the way when you do a sit-up, actually, because the more important part, the difficult part, is that beginning period, the first 45 degrees. So don't need to sit up and then don't relax at the top. You want to finish the rep and you have to repetitively bring load to it. So don't go over the peak and then rest your arms on your leg and then do again. You must do multiple quickly repetitions of that movement back to back to back. So don't sit up all the way. Just engage, get past that 45 degree, then reset and do again. Yeah. Sit-ups is a great exercise and I'm very glad to see you do it because I think it's especially useful. For example, you get into a friendly sparring session with somebody, like some hater, right? And then you try to spear them. And as we know, actually the spear is a wrestling move and it's not a real fighting move. So it's not very practical. And if you miss, wow, you're in deep shit, you're on the floor, So you must quickly get up, and a sit-up, training the sit-up will help you to get up so much faster without using your arms even, because you might need your arms to defend yourself. So train sit-ups and it will help you get up after your failed spear, and you can do so actually without pulling other people's pants. So that's a very useful advantage to have, right? So the next exercise that we see our friend do also is this step machine. And I may be wrong about this, but I actually think this is for senior citizen because it doesn't actually work out much. I think this is a way for senior citizen to train their mobility and also arm and leg coordination. And the weighted part where you put on the pack to weight the thing to make it more resistant, right? Actually, it's not to increase the intensity of the workout, but it's to increase the resistance so that the impact is not so heavy. So it's actually easier. What you're doing when you're doing the step machine is that you are just standing on it and letting it fall because of your body weight, and that doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. So if you want to work out the idea of this exercise, right, what might be better is that you do this step up, step down kind of exercise that I will now show on the screen. So there's a rhythm here, is that you go up, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, which is a rhythm that you should be very familiar with because it's the same as in, out, in, out, out. You just replace the in with up and the out with down. Then you just do up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. So this one builds agility, like speed, and your ability to be very mobile and very coordinated. It helps if your arms are also pumping in the same rhythm, the up, down, down rhythm, right? So that your leg and your hands are coordinated. Because oftentimes, when you want to move your legs, it helps when your arm is also coordinated and synchronized also, right? So that's very useful. What you can also do is just actually go and run. Just run, I'm not asking you to fan gun or, go upside down. Just go for a run or go for a walk, but a more intense walk. So you walk fast. What you can also do if you want to burn calories, my colleague was telling me actually one of the best ways to burn calories that they found, right, is just to do incline walk or run. So you just go to a staircase and you go up, down, 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 up. Just go up all the way, go down all the way. Just do a full flight up to 18 story, and then or 14 if you like 14, right? Just go up to 14 story. You can even start at 4th story. 4th story, then go to 14th story, then come down to 4th story again. And then that's your exercise. And it's very good. The key to this is that you don't use the railing. Because if you use the railing, you get used to keep on being supported on one side. You're not building this coordination of your hand and your leg. Try to run, but if you cannot run, just walk. Just walk. Tired, also just walk slowly as long as you maintain proper upright form, and then you do not use the railing. Don't do what? Pull the railing. If you're very tired, just stop, right? Don't go and do what funny pull railing, climb up, climb down on all fours and stuff like that, right? So it's actually a good way to burn calories as well. So I suggest this instead of this senior citizen step machine. This one really I think is for senior citizen. Then also got this thing where you are turning this steering wheel. I don't know what this is. I think again this is a senior citizen thing where you're building hand mobility to get the blood rushing and stuff. If you want to do that, I think it's better if you just do shadow boxing, and I don't know what this is because you also don't drive, right? You also don't want to learn the driving skill, and I also don't know actually how you will apply this to driving actually, unless you're driving 2 trucks at the same time, you will never use this motion, right? So I actually suggest you don't use this machine. Go and do shadow boxing is better. And then, so that's about it. That's the HDB drill. Very simple, right? No need much equipment, can do just about anywhere. At home also can, right? And I think I want to give out also some final overall tips. And the first one is that machine doesn't mean better. It doesn't mean like, just because you're using a machine and there's a way for you to adjust weight that is better. Oftentimes, the best way to exercise is to work with your own body weight. Then you understand where you are at. Because the point of also fitness, I think, is to move yourself around better. And if the exercise can have a version where you use your own body weight, where you get used to how your body feels, that's actually way better. Second one is that you need to finish your sets. So each motion is called a rep, and a collection of motion is called a set. So what you have to do is you finish your set. You can say like, okay, one set is 10 movements, so 10 repetitions or 10 reps, right? So if you're doing sit-up, right, you tell yourself, I'm gonna do 12. And I do the 12 back to back to back without stopping until I'm tired. Or until I hit 12, right? You don't look at the camera, you don't scratch your face, you don't stop to talk to yourself, to look around. You commit to the set and you finish. I know you want to look say, because of course we work out for what? Is to look say in front of the camera, right? I think it looks even more say if you commit and do the exercise properly. So have a number before you start, then you do the number, commit to the set and do finish. Don't skip here, skip there, look here, look there, scratch here, scratch there. Commit to the set and finish it. You look even cooler, man. The importance of this also is that what you want to do with exercising and building strength is to go to a point of failure. Meaning you want to exercise until you get to a place where you are struggling. Then that's where you're getting better. It's a lot like life, actually. You can't just stay inside your comfort zone all the time. So if I can do 10 sit-ups comfortably, the next time I do it, I want to do 15. So I want to get to a point where I'm 20% uncomfortable. I'm not asking for you to kill yourself, but just get 20% uncomfortable. And this one you can apply to life also. Don't just do the same thing and be comfortable for 20, 30 years, because then you end up realizing when you are 50 years old that actually you are at the same place you were at when you were 20 years old. So always push for that 20% discomfort. My suggestion is that you do 3 sets of everything. So you can say, right, today I'm going to do pulling, pushing, and squatting. Then I do 10 inverted pull-ups. I do 10 squats. Then I do 10 elevated push-ups. Then I go back to the inverted pull-up, squat. Then you are working out different muscle group each time, and you can sort of rest the muscle group in between. But you do 3 sets of that. So you kind of do a range of everything. Fitness doesn't need to be fancy. You don't need to go to a gym. And it's good that you are even trying at all. So really, congrats to you and pat on the back for you, right? Give yourself a round of applause and also give yourself a pat on the back for committing to this so far. But I really believe that if you just do my HDB drill, right, it'll be a lot more effective and efficient. Because, let's face it, if you work like 12-hour shifts, very, very busy, right, then you also have a busy schedule as a celebrity because you're so busy with other things like, write diary, film Q&A video, film your prediction video, film your 2-hour meal videos, then you still have to exercise some more. It doesn't leave a lot of time for you to do other things, like spend time with your family and your children. So I'm thinking like really, doing the HDB workout will help you to save more time, and then you can dedicate your time to something that actually should matter more than anything else in the world, which is spending time with your family. Hopefully this helps. This is just some 不懂不要中懂 advice from a half hater. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.